So today, for the first time, I get to share some of my quick thoughts about Mighty Number 9. So, Mighty Number 9. What a big deal this game has been ever since it was first revealed as a Kickstarter campaign. I don't know, probably 2 years ago at this point. It's definitely been a long time. Made by famed Mega Man series creator Keiji Inafune after he left Capcom due to a lot of drama and sort of infighting at the time. I think issues over even creating and working with Mega Man going forward. Just lots of creative differences. He left Capcom. It was a fairly public deal at that time. And after some period of time, as Kickstarter started to gain steam, he started a Kickstarter campaign for this game, Mighty Number 9. I'm sure we're all very familiar with it. It's been very high profile. It is the spiritual successor to Mega Man. It looks, plays, and feels just like a Mega Man game. And it smashed its Kickstarter goals. People have been super, super excited for it. It's gone through a lot of delays, some controversy with how some of the stretch goals were first playing out and the things that were being asked for at the time. I really feel like this was probably 2 years ago. This is before a lot of the more recent controversies over Kickstarter and how a lot of these things are funded. And, you know, like I said, there's been definitely quite a few delays on this game, and sometime in the last 5 or 6 months, I remember they said, "Hey, the game is officially has a release date. It's going to be September 30th." I don't know. It was sometime in September this year, 2015. And earlier today, after weeks of rumors, it turns out that the game has been yet again delayed until 2016. So, like I said, I just want to share my quick thoughts on Mighty Number 9. Because I haven't really I've never discussed it on Rule of Two Review, and although I'm excited for the game and I'm picking up a Wii U physical copy when it releases, I'm not like super into it or even super angry about this happening. I just think that it sucks, you know, and I wanted to quickly just share the fact that this game is being delayed. You know, it went through several delays, and then we finally got a release date. After a very long time, they gave us a concrete release date of September, which is now only 2 months away, or a month away. Sorry, it's next month. What am I talking about? It's August right now, so it's next month. And then after we finally have gotten our first ever release date, and then the game gets delayed like 4 weeks out, 6 weeks before this game was supposed to come out. I think it sucks for the fans. I think it sucks for the game. I think it sucks for me because, like I said, I'm not like dying without it, but I did want to play it and I was going to be picking it up. And most importantly, it sucks for the people that paid for this game. And this is just one of the myriad problems I've seen with Kickstarter. I've really wanted to make a video talking about my feelings about Kickstarter and crowdfunding campaigns in the gaming space for a while now, and I have so many thoughts, and that's just such a huge epic project and conversation for me that I don't know when I'm going to feel ready and prepared to kind of put it all together and make a video for you guys and discuss it, but I will eventually, I promise. But long story short, there's a lot of good sides to Kickstarter, and there's a lot of bad sides, and to me, this is exposing and exploiting one of the worst sides, which is how projects and promises fall through like crazy. I mean, I should say that there's almost no doubt that this game is going to come out. So I don't think this is going to be one of those things that makes it really far into development and then just disappears and people are totally out their money. But it still is a game that should have already released. They say it's due to bugs and glitches that it's being postponed, and I just don't buy it. It doesn't feel real or genuine, and it doesn't make sense. This game has been in development for a very long time from a person who knows what he's doing, and it's, at the end of the day, it's a 2D platformer using a fairly retro style of visuals. I mean, I can't imagine that this game is so complex that it's after so long and only a month out from release, all of a sudden there's new bugs and glitches and it's not ready. Like, they would have known a long time ago if they were ready to release this game in September or not. So I feel like there's something fishier going on. And again, because Kickstarter relies on a promise to people to get their money before a product is delivered, these things sting that much more. And you know, I have not given 1 single cent, not 1 penny, not 1 moment of my time or dollar from my wallet towards Kickstarter. And I don't even know what the first Kickstarter project would ever be that would demand money from me. It would have to be like for Beyond Good and Evil 2, you know, or like a Lost Season 6. Something like, or sorry, Season 6, Season 7, because Lost was 6 seasons. So, you know, some sort of crazy thing like that. It would have to be astronomically important. Like, if this would never happen, but let's say Nintendo was like, if you want a new Metroid Prime game, or, a new Metroid game, it's a Kickstarter thing, okay, I would give them my money. But luckily, that's something we know would never have to go through. Firefly Season 2, Kickstarter, you got my money. But in general, things in the gaming space, it's just, I'm not going to give my money to this, man. I'm not going to pay for something that doesn't exist yet. I just think that this is such a problem for people, and a lot of people are mad about this, not just because the game itself isn't going to be available to them. They're mad because their money is wasted right now. It's a broken promise for their money, and it's disrespectful, And I understand things happen, and it's the nature of developing a game. So if there's truth to the whole bugs thing, it's like, okay, then it is what it is. You got to delay it. I'd rather release a finished, complete game. But why did you make this promise in the first place? You should have known. If you've been making games for a long time, you know when a game is going to be ready or not. And to delay it, not even just a month or two, but all the way to 2016, you don't delay a game last minute for bugs and glitches for half a year. You would maybe do that for a couple of weeks or a month or two, but you don't do it for 5 or 6 months all the way into a brand new year. There's bigger problems at stake, and there's something else going on, and it's either that there's more going on than just bugs and glitches, and there's some other weird controversial thing happening that they're keeping a secret, or they simply never intended to release the game in September, and they lied about it initially. And basically, they're both kind of BS. They just, I don't know, they should have figured something else out. And I understand why people get frustrated with these things, and this helps justify the fact that I've never given a penny to Kickstarter. And like I said, I really don't think that I ever will. I can't imagine it's ever going to happen because I just don't trust it. And I don't like putting my faith in people like this until something is made. And luckily, considering we live in a world with Kickstarter, I will say this one thing. Luckily, we live in a world where almost every single project I've ever wanted to get funded through Kickstarter has gotten funded quite easily. So it hasn't needed my money. I'm happy to give anyone my money. I don't want to sound like I'm stingy. I'm happy to give you my money, game developers, when you make the game. You shouldn't need my promise to make a game. You shouldn't need my money to make a game. You should already be able to create this, and then you get my money. You earn my money when the product exists. That's the way I look at it, and like I was saying, one day this crazy rare exception case will probably happen where there's that one thing that I know I finally feel justified paying for, and at that time, then I'll do it. But it's going to be something pretty significant. These kinds of things, there's no way. I will say there is one thing I did give money for. It was an Indiegogo campaign for one of my favorite bands who had been out of the scene for a while, and they needed to come back and make an album. And I was like, hell yes, please bring Misery Signals back. This is one of my favorite metal bands of all time. They are musical geniuses when it comes to the heavy genre. And as somebody who works in the heavy music industry professionally as a musician, I know my people, I know my fellow musicians, especially in the heavy metal genre, and I know that they'll deliver. These guys are doing it not to get money, but because they're passionate about creating music. And with the video game business, there is the passion behind creating games, but it's way more of a money-driven business than the music genre, than the heavy metal music genre. It just is, and I can say that as an insider of the heavy metal music genre. So I was like, oh yeah, the $10 I'm going to pay them now to help fund their brand new album and then get the CD shipped to me was totally worth it. Absolutely worth it. And you know what? It paid off. So, there's my fine print in that I've given money to Indiegogo to help a band. And I was happy to do so. In the gaming space, there's been nothing but red flags as far as crowdfunding goes and any sort of campaign, whether it's Indiegogo, Kickstarter, and I don't even know what else there is. But it's been all controversy. There hasn't been a lot of good stuff coming out of it. So, when Mighty Number 9 comes out, like I said, I still believe in the game itself as a product, so I'm not dissing the title. I think it's going to be a fun game. I will be picking up the physical, full-priced copy on the Wii U the day that game comes out, like I said. I'm happy to support the game as a game, but I'm only going to do it with my money once it's completed, and the fact that this got delayed again and people are so upset justifies why I never had to give them any money in the first place, because they're obviously not being responsible with it, or even if they're not being responsible, they're not being truthful. So one or both of those things are egregious errors. They're egregious errors that I don't think anyone should be able to get away with. And so that sucks. That's what's happening with Mighty Number 9. I think it's really a shame. Are you guys mad about this? Are you not? How many of you out there paid for this game and were expecting to be able to pick it up next month, and now your money is just floating out there in some nebulous void where you don't have the game that you've already paid for and you're upset about it? I would think that there's a lot of you that are on the angry side, but whatever you feel, maybe you don't even care and you're just happy to get it when it comes out. Share your feelings below. What do you think about the whole Kickstarter Mighty Number 9 thing? Thanks for tuning in, and again, this is Rob of Rules to Review. I'll catch you guys next time on another video.